Welcome to Celestial Zodiac. One of the most noticeable and personally felt progressions in astrology is the progressed moon. Even people who know very little about astrology often recognize these shifts without realizing what's causing them. Have you ever gone through a period where your priorities suddenly changed? Maybe you became more focused on relationships, career, home life, healing, or personal independence. The progressed moon helps explain why certain chapters of life feel emotionally different from others. Unlike transits, which often describe outside events, the progressed moon reflects your changing emotional landscape and the way your inner needs evolve over time. So why does the progressed moon matter so much? The progressed moon is often considered the most important progression because it moves fast enough for people to clearly feel its effects throughout life. While the progressed sun may describe larger life chapters that last decades, the progressed moon changes signs approximately every 2 to 2.5 years, which creates shorter emotional cycles and shifting areas of focus. Because the moon is connected to emotions, instincts, habits, comfort, and emotional security, these changes can feel very personal. The progressed moon often describes what you need emotionally during a certain phase of life and what experiences are helping you grow internally. This is one reason life can feel so different from one period to another. Even though your natal chart stays the same, your progressed moon keeps moving, gradually shifting your emotional priorities and inner focus over time. One of the most common questions people have is how to track their progressed moon. The easiest way is by generating a progressed chart on a website like astro.com or AstroSeek. Look for secondary progressions or progressed charts and natal charts to create a biwheel chart. In a biwheel chart, your natal chart appears on the inner wheel, while the progressed chart appears on the outer wheel. Once you locate the moon symbol on the outer wheel, you can identify the sign and house it is currently moving through. Because the progressed moon changes signs approximately every 2 to 2.5 years, tracking its movement can help you understand why different periods of your life feel emotionally different from one another. Many astrologers also pay close attention to the progressed moon changing signs or houses, because these transitions often mark the beginning of a new emotional chapter. This is how a moon progresses from your birth date. If someone is born with their moon in Aries, the progressed moon does not stay there forever. The progressed moon stays in each sign for approximately 2 to 2.5 years. So if someone is born with a natal moon in Aries, their progressed moon will usually move into Taurus around age 2 or 2.5. Around another 2 to 2.5 years later, it would move into Gemini and so on. This creates emotional life cycles throughout life. Even though your natal moon never changes, your progressed moon keeps evolving, describing changing emotional needs, priorities, and inner growth over time. That's one reason people often feel emotionally different at different stages of life. A person may be born with a fiery, impulsive Aries moon emotionally, but later go through a more stable Taurus progressed moon phase, followed by a more social or mentally active Gemini phase later on. The natal moon remains the emotional foundation, while the progressed moon shows the current emotional chapter you're living through. In this biwheel chart, the progressed chart is shown on the outer wheel in green. To locate the progressed moon, look for the moon symbol on the outer wheel. In this example, the progressed moon is moving through Aries and is positioned near the 6th house area of the chart on the date this chart was created. This suggests a phase of emotional growth focused on independence, initiative, and taking action. Emotionally, there may be a stronger desire to move quickly, trust personal instincts, and become more self-directed. Because this progressed moon is connected to the 6th house area, the emotional focus may also shift toward daily routines, work responsibilities, health, productivity, and self-improvement. This can describe a period where someone feels internally motivated to organize their life differently, improve habits, become more efficient, or take a more active role in managing everyday responsibilities. This is a good example of how the progressed moon combines both sign and house energy. The sign describes how the emotional energy is being expressed, while the house shows where this emotional growth is happening in life. As the progressed moon changes signs, your emotional style and priorities begin to change with it. Each sign creates a different emotional atmosphere. Let's go through each of the 12 signs. A progressed moon in Aries may feel more independent, direct, and action-oriented. Emotionally, there can be a stronger need to move quickly, take initiative, and trust your instincts. A progressed moon in Taurus may bring a greater focus on stability, comfort, security, and building something lasting. This period may feel slower, steadier, and more grounded emotionally. A progressed moon in Gemini may create a stronger need for learning, communication, variety, and mental stimulation. A progressed moon in Cancer may bring greater emotional sensitivity, reflection, family focus, and concern with emotional security. A progressed moon in Leo may increase the desire for creativity, recognition, confidence, and self-expression. This phase may feel more expressive, passionate, and emotionally dramatic. A progressed moon in Virgo may shift attention toward improvement, organization, health, routines, and practical responsibilities. Emotionally, there may be a stronger focus on productivity and fixing what feels out of balance. A progressed moon in Libra may place greater emphasis on relationships, harmony, cooperation, and emotional balance. During this period, connection and partnership may feel especially important. A progressed moon in Scorpio may bring emotional intensity, deeper self-reflection, transformation, and a need to confront hidden emotions. This phase often feels psychologically powerful and emotionally deep. A progressed moon in Sagittarius may create a stronger desire for freedom, exploration, learning, spirituality, or expanding your horizons. Emotionally, there is often a need for growth and a broader sense of meaning. A progressed moon in Capricorn may shift emotional focus towards structure, discipline, long-term goals, achievement, and responsibility. This period may feel more serious, focused, and practical. A progressed moon in Aquarius may increase the desire for independence, individuality, innovation, social awareness, and new perspectives. Emotionally, there may be a stronger need for freedom and authenticity. A progressed moon in Pisces may bring greater emotional sensitivity, intuition, imagination, spirituality, and reflection. This phase may feel more emotional, creative, or inwardly focused. The sign of the progressed moon helps describe the emotional tone of the chapter you're currently living through and the kinds of emotional experiences shaping your growth during that period. The house placement of the progressed moon shows where your emotional energy is being directed in life. For example, a progressed moon moving through the 4th house may create a stronger focus on home, family, privacy, emotional healing, or inner security. This often feels like a more inward and reflective period. A progressed moon moving through the 10th house may shift attention toward career, goals, reputation, achievement, or public visibility. This can feel much more outward-focused and ambitious. The progressed moon through the 7th house may increase emotional focus on relationships and connection, while the 12th house may feel quieter, more spiritual, more reflective, or emotionally internal. This is one reason different phases of life can feel dramatically different emotionally. Some progressed moon placements draw your energy outward into the world. while others pull your attention inward toward healing, reflection, or personal growth. The progressed moon is deeply connected to emotional development. It reflects how life experiences gradually shape your emotional needs, reactions, and sense of fulfillment over time. As the progressed moon moves through different signs and houses, you begin developing emotional qualities that may not have been as strong earlier in life. Certain periods teach independence. Others teach patience, vulnerability, communication, boundaries, or emotional resilience. The progressed moon doesn't usually create dramatic events by itself. Instead, it changes how you experience life emotionally and what feels meaningful to you internally. And because it moves steadily through the chart, it creates a kind of emotional timeline, showing the different chapters of growth you move through throughout your life. The progressed moon reminds us that emotional growth is not static. Your needs, priorities, and emotional focus naturally evolve over time, and each phase of life brings different lessons and experiences. In the next video, we'll continue exploring progressions by looking at the progressed sun and how it reflects major identity shifts and long-term life chapters. Thank you for watching Celestial Zodiac. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so you don't miss the next part of this series.